This is Arts Alive. I'm Linda Philippi. My guests today are Jordan Ferry, Kelly Ashton, and Stephanie Belt-Verhoff, and they're here to talk about the upcoming gallery production of Meet Me in St. Louis. So, welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and just before we went on camera, we started talking about the iconic songs, and now the trolley song is in my head, so thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Stephanie, do you want to start by talking a little bit about the production?
Yeah, absolutely. So we open this Friday, November 22nd, and run until December 14th. Our performances are on Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and then Sunday matinees start at 3.
When did the Salvation Army get started?
Back in London, England, back in 1865.
1865.
1865.
In London, England.
London, England, by a young man named William Booth.
Yes.
He was a Methodist minister, and he actually brought people from the streets. Yes. He would go out and he would talk to them. He would feed them, clothe them, and then he would talk to them about Jesus.
Yes.
And he would bring them back to the church, and the church wouldn't allow the people to come in.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Phoebe Newman, welcoming you to One Poem a Day Won't Kill You, our celebration of National Poetry Month.
My name is Lex Runciman, and I'm reading Dylan Thomas's poem called Fern Hill. Now as I was young and easy under the apple boughs about the lilting house, and happy as the grass was green the night above the dingles starry.
Hand around so that you can at least get an idea, because I want to pet these quilts, but because of the fabric just calls to me. But these two quilts are too fragile to actually handle, so I brought some fabric so everybody can have some to handle.
But she decided that she was going to be really bold. She made some very bold decisions, and she decided to help to save her people. Also, we spent some time learning about Moses and all of the great things that he did, because he did a lot of really great things. He never forgot about what he was taught through God, and he fought for the Jewish people to free them from the Pharaoh, which was really neat.
And he got up the next morning, and you wouldn't turn the angel loose. And I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but I want to relate these stories to you. But he prayed, Lord, let me come back to my father's house in peace.
So today we're talking about these things called metaphors. So what is a metaphor? When I studied at school and the teacher asked me a metaphor, she said, what's the difference between a simile and a metaphor? And she said, a simile is when you say, this is like a rocket.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Way in the back? Kind of a joke.
Told me, she said, knock 'em dead. And I said, don't you mean undead? To which I got a groan. My title is From A to Zombie, Educational Approaches that Help Students Develop Their Brains. And I'm going to talk about the class that I actually taught this January term at Linfield College called The Impact of the Zombie Apocalypse on the Pacific Northwest. And I'll kind of explain to you why it was actually not only a fun course, but I think a great educational opportunity for our students.
But that has to do with logic. The Western tradition is focusing on logic. And the logic is developed by philosophers, cherished by the scientific mind since the Greek. And it's been championed, ever since. But in Chinese philosophy, there's only two philosophers who were interested in logic. And they lived between 479 to 221 BCE.
Which makes a very weird philosophy occasionally, where we tell people, well, we have to kill salmon and eat it in order for salmon to come back, right? People go, that doesn't make sense, right? Preservation. Our idea of preservation is different. We also get it from ethnographic resources. There are some traditional foods which are extremely difficult to obtain.
Now, really focus on my shoulders and body. If it looks pixelated, use the softening bar to round it out. I'm going to increase my softening just a little bit because it looks a bit harsh. Lastly, enhance. If you raise this bar up all the way, you can see a large sum of purple begin to radiate off myself. This is because purple is a great neutralizer of green. So having a little bit of enhance can help get rid of some of that extra pesky green and make it look more natural. So now this seems to be to my liking, so it's time to bring in the background and test it out.
As you can see, it's our holiday special, so we are wearing our Christmas sweaters.
Keeping it very festive. Here with his last sports segment of the year is Joe Stewart. Take it away, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Busy week for sports before we head into winter break. Starting with boys basketball, McMinnville won on Tuesday at McNary High School. Coach Vince Bowman was a standout in that one, scoring 18 points. They've moved to 3 wins and 1 loss on the season, and will continue tomorrow night here at home against Sunset High School.
We are here representing the Can-Am Rotax Pro Kart Challenge in McMinnville, Oregon, and it is an international series. We travel all over the West Coast from Vancouver, BC to Northern California, you know, everywhere in between. As of right now, it's a 4-race series.
Today is our 3rd annual preparedness fair for Yamhill County, and when I say Yamhill County, it's anybody within the community. We've got a lot of vendors both inside and outside, and we've got folks that are participating from CERT, the Community Emergency Response Teams. We've got the Red Cross here. We've got vendors that have products that can help, and we have a plethora of first responders too.
The dinner dishes are all dry now, and I stack them on their shelves. Father takes off his dark forest pants and mends a rip with a piece of dental floss and a needle. Then he writes down things from the books he's reading in his tiny handwriting in his little book, and I do some homework he's given me, and I also write on the scrap paper some of this journal and things I've seen and thought. Father, his hand spread out, is wider than this sheet of paper, wider than the plates we eat off, his fingertips hanging over. It makes a book look tiny when he holds it.
The legislation did resolve, if you will, what the tax brackets will be, and capital gains, state tax, so on and so forth. So those are resolved, but here's what it didn't do. It didn't address the debt ceiling. It didn't address the continuing resolution that will come up in March.
Thanks, Scott. I'm going to take just a few minutes. I'm going to provide just a little historic perspective on downtown development in McMinnville. My name is Jeb Ledeen. I'm at the News Register here. We've been located downtown since 1928 in our family, and you know, our business has been located in downtown since 1889, I think. So I'll take it back to 1866. That's the first thing I found about McMinnville.
Her current research concerns the law and politics of aerial bombing, military sexual violence, veterans' claims and benefits, and trust administration. Beth is an award-winning teacher, so I think we're in for a real treat. And her lecture, as you can see, is entitled FDR, Obama, and How Presidents Drop Bombs. Please join me in welcoming Beth to Linfield.
Thank you, Nick, and to the Douglas Forum and everybody pardon me, who's made this possible. I'm grateful for such a big turnout, to which I attribute the food rather than the topic here. But I'm glad that you're all here.
And the MDA board members and volunteers, everyone who made this possible tonight, well done. So before we begin the very short business portion of the meeting, I do have the very deep pleasure of introducing members who have joined the MDA in the last 12 months. If you're in the audience, could you please stand, be recognized? 4 Elements Yoga Studio. Velvet Monkey Tea Room.
The 2013 Business Leader of the Year award goes to Kelly McDonald.
This is my very sleepy grandson, Sawyer. So, recently I made a very tough decision. To resign from the board of the McMinnville Chamber. I love this organization. I love this community.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast on MCM of McMinnville High School Sports. I'm Curtis Cooper. Alongside me is Grant Robedo. Tonight's matchup is between the Tualatin Timberwolves and the McMinnville Grizzlies. Grant, last time this game came down to a last-second shot by Tualatin at Tualatin. What do you think are the keys for tonight's game?
Well, it's going to be a good game again. Offense and defense are going to have to be strong for both sides. Bryce Anderson's out for the Grizzlies, so we're going to see how that portrays for them.
7, Garrett Paul, quarterback, back in shotgun.
He'll snap the ball. It'll be a quick pitch, and
Zach Rhodes on the tackle.
They will gain a few yards there. That one was to number 5, Dylan Frederick.
And that's what Hillsborough is going to do. They're going to spread you out like that, and they're just going to do quick passes, and then eventually they'll hit you with the long ball when you're not expecting it. Good tackle by Zach Rhodes. And it's 2nd down, 7 to go.
Tualatin already putting in a full court press to start things off. Nick Atencio with the 3, buried it.
Sudden questions are answered with pride. I feel so damn good with you here by my side. Just hold me. Christmas angels sing all around us, spread good tidings over the earth, telling of the child in the manger who is born. He is the King of Kings.
that was close.
Yeah, we made it just in time for the 2013 Alien Days Parade, part of the 14th annual UFO Festival here in McMinnville, Oregon. Hello and welcome. My name is Jeff Sargent, here with my charming wife, Julia, and we are delighted to be the host here for the parade this year. Here is our Grand Marshal coming by, Mary Stern. Hello, Mary.
And traditionally, the parade ends with Santa on the fire truck. There he is.
There he is.
Surrounded by his elves.
Nice that he's taken time out from his busy schedule just to come down here to McMinnville and be part of our parade.
Well, you know, McMinnville is the center of the known universe, so it only stands to reason that Santa would make his appearance here.
Pues es que toda la persona que se educa aprende a utilizar todo lo que la vida le enseñó a usted, todo lo que la vida me enseñó a mí. Si se educan, van a tomar esos golpes que me dio a mí la vida, los van a tomar ellos.
My name's Walt, Alex, Clyde, David, Henry, Alex. We do fun activities. I made stainless windows. Making our own instruments. It's the fishing. Do your best. Do your best. Do your